Once something is drawn in SketchUp, it can be reshaped dynamically with the Scale tool. Single surfaces can be scaled in a flat 2D realm. Each of the green boxes is a scaling grip. As you move the cursor over each grip, a hinting vector is drawn to show you where the opposing anchor point for the scale operation will be. Holding down the Control key will make the anchor point go to the center of the selection. Click on a grip and move the cursor around to reshape the geometry. Side grips stretch the geometry in one direction. Holding down the Shift key on a side grip causes the geometry to scale uniformly in both directions. Holding down the Control key will cause either mode to anchor from the center of the geometry. Corner grips scale the geometry in two directions uniformly. Holding down the Shift key on a corner grip turns off uniform scaling to allow scaling in both directions independently. Holding down the Control key will cause either mode to anchor from the center of the geometry. Scaling works on groups of surfaces as well, creating a 3D volume for the scaling grips. Selecting a grip in the center of the cube volume scales the geometry in a single direction. Notice that the cursor snaps to half and whole points. At any time you can type in a number to specify the number multiplier desired for scaling. Typing 0.75 would make it 3/4 as big. Typing 1.25 makes the geometry 1 1/4 times larger. Grabbing a grip at the midpoint of an edge of the scaling cube allows scaling in two directions simultaneously. Holding down Shift causes uniform scaling. And again, holding Control at any time shifts the anchor base to the center of the scaling cube. You may drag any grip or use the click, move, click method. I will use the click, move, click on a corner grip. Notice that the default behavior for corners is a uniform scale on the geometry. Holding Shift toggles the uniform behavior off to allow scaling in all directions. Holding down Control shifts the anchor point to the center in either non-uniform or uniform mode. Typing in a value after releasing the mouse button multiplies the scale factor. Typing in a single distance value makes the anchor to grip distance that exact distance. Typing in two distances conforms the geometry in red-green order, X then Y. I type 30 feet, 50 feet. I can verify the distance with the tape measure tool and read the distance down in the lower right corner of the screen in the value control box. Notice I must type the distance punctuation using apostrophe for the foot sign, otherwise the value is read as a scale multiple factor. If I want inches, I must type the inches sign. Also notice if I non-uniformly scale from a corner grip, I can type in all three dimension values in red, green, blue order, or X, Y, Z. Say 40 feet, 30 feet, 20 feet. Again, I can verify the distances. Now for some fun. I can scale just one attached face to quickly reshape the volume. I can turn geometry inside out, creating a quick mirror of the geometry. I can scale a single face that is off-plane from the axis direction, and Scale treats the single face with the 3D scaling volume box. This process is great for creating warped volumes. This works by reorienting the axes to any surface and selecting a non-planar face for the scale. The neat thing about SketchUp is, since all surfaces must remain coplanar, any model you generate this way could be physically built. Simply provide a structural member along all the edges in the model. SketchUp's new Scale tool lets you quickly explore wonderful shapes effortlessly.